Right, let's pop these down here for a moment and let's see what we have here. So, middle of the month, we've got the Nine of Wands. Now, this can indicate a couple of things. At a physical level, energetically, you might be feeling very exhausted. Like you might be, plugging away at something, trying to get something done. And you're at that stage where you're kind of wondering if all your effort has been worth it. That's what the Nine of Wands can indicate, because it's a nine, right? The cycle's almost completed, but not quite. So for some of you, it's going to be that sense of, look, I'm just going to dig deep and keep going. I'm not ready to give up on this just yet. For others of you, you may be wondering, is it time to just give up? Am I ever going to see the results? One of the first examples I ever got of this card when I was learning the tarot a long time ago, over 20 years ago, was, that scenario of we're going up some very dark stairs. We're going up some very dark stairs. All we have is a torch or a lamp that shows us the next two steps up, right? And all we can see are the next two steps, and you're like, there's more, there's more. Should I just turn back? Should I just stop? But what we don't see is that just like 5, 6, 7 steps ahead, it's the top. It's where we're trying to get to. So Nine of Wands shows that. So this is going to be a time of you. Some of you will be, yeah, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on this. For others of you, it's like, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. Now, this person is a warrior. He's pretty fierce looking in this. Usually the warrior or the soldier in the card is pretty battered and bruised. This one looks quite determined. So I'm getting for a lot of you, you'll be quite determined to keep going. But let's see how this plays out in the rest of the reading. For some of you, it may be a work situation. We have Pentacles coming up here, 8 of Pentacles to be precise. And this talks about focused, diligent work, something that we don't mind putting the effort into. Can be kind of repetitive. It's something that maybe that's why you're feeling tired. It feels like you've been in the same thing again and again and again. You've been plugging away at this, but you're not quite seeing the result that you want. I'm saying that because it is a 9 yet. It is a 9. You'd be starting something new. You'd have moved on if you had seen the results that you wanted to see. So the 8 of Pentacles is about, is work that we don't mind doing though. Because it's an 8, we know that there's a 9 and 10, that cycle's almost completed too. With this 9 and the 8 here, it does talk about, we're almost, whatever you've been working on, you're almost completing that. And you have a sense of that. You have a sense of that. Now, I said this could be work. Yes, for some of you it could be. But, we can put in work and effort into any situation in life, into ourselves, into our dreams, our relationships, our home, our family, whatever. And that's kind of, there's a very kind of general sense that's coming in here. It's not really specifically pointing to one thing. And I always say this, the energies can be applied in whatever area we want to apply them. So where is all of this coming from? Well, it's coming from the alchemist, who's the magician, and he talks about having the confidence to use the tools at your disposal. This is when we can begin a new cycle, and we look at what we have, and we think, okay, you know what, I have everything to get this done. But the example I give for this card always is that, you can go into your kitchen, you can find not bread, you can find flour, sugar, butter, all of the ingredients that you need to make a cake or to make bread, whatever you're trying to make. But just because you have the ingredients, it doesn't mean you have the end product. You have to have the confidence to use all of those ingredients, or the tools in this case, to get what you want. And the magician does say that. He says you have everything that you need, and you came to a realization of this. And I feel like you've had to implement your confidence to go in a new direction. You've started this new cycle, and that's why I'm getting the sense that it's something that you've been doing for a while. That's what the magician's saying here. And maybe the magician showing up as a past, because why does the past show up? It shows up there to remind us and to show us this is why you began this, or this is what's causing where you are right now. The magician is reminding you that, look, you started this with a certain intention, with a certain confidence. Is that what you're questioning now? Do you not have confidence in that anymore? Are you just focused so much on the work that you're doing, and that it's very repetitive? And like I said, it can be, that's any area of your life. It's a general reading. We have the 3 of Cups coming up in the present. Now, this may be that, whereas the 8 of Pentacles for me says, it could be a work situation. The 3 of Cups may indicate the groups that you're part of, like, your friends, your family members, people that you're working with. It can show that there is the support of people that you love here, because this is the people that we love and support, that love and support us. For some people, yes, this can be a celebration, some kind of reunion, getting together with people. Maybe it's time off, if you've got all of this kind of hard work, digging deep, going forward, it may be now that you do need to kind of let your hair down and just say, and yeah, it talks about celebrations. It is your birthday month, so that's a bit of a no-brainer there, right? But I kind of feel the Three of Cups here, especially with the Four of Cups coming up, I'm jumping ahead a little bit. It's kind of maybe the group that you're focused on. So if you've been putting in work and effort into, I mean, with your colleagues or clients, or, you know, whoever you're working with, if it is a work situation for you, or your friend, what your friends and family have been telling you in regards to maybe you need support in your love life or your studies, whatever it is, it feels like you kind of consult them or speak to them, or you try to get help because you have the Three of Cups and you have the Nine of Wands here. So maybe you ask others to kind of help you, you ask for support. I don't know if that goes too well for you, because what I'm kind of getting here is you have the Emperor, which is you take control. Yes, you might have people at your back, and I always say the army at your back, or your tribe, or your group that you have. We always get further with people supporting us, but we have the Emperor here, and it's kind of almost a sense of you look around to see who's helping you, supporting you, and they might do it at an emotional level. It's cups, right, which is our emotions. But at the end of the day, we have the Emperor coming up, which is your card, like I said. And the Emperor is all about my way or the highway. He knows what he wants. He knows what he has to do. And usually we'd say with the Emperor that he can be too stubborn. He can be that kind of person that I'm not going to compromise. You know, he doesn't know how to compromise. He only knows how to do things his way, because his way has, you know, it's not always a bad thing. The reason he's sat on a throne now is because he has done things his way. He knows how to run his kingdom. He's not afraid to make those difficult choices. And one thing I love about this guy is that, you know, look at him. He's old. He's got white hair and beard, but he sits on his throne still in his battle wear. Like, he's still got his armor on. Yes, he's got his beautiful red cloak on to show he's the emperor, but he's still in his battle, his armor, because he's ready to fight. If any threat comes towards him or any problem comes up, he will still get up and go and fight it. He's still ready to do that. He is not complacent. So I'm going to come back to that in just a moment, because what's the advice here? The advice is, how do we get to this? Well, you have the Four of Cups here. Now, this usually talks about being stuck, you know, having a look at the options that you have and not being, it's like about being nonplussed. We're nonplussed by the options that we have. This guy is not at all thrilled by the Three Cups in front of him. Those Three Cups, they represent the Three of Cups. So I kind of feel like maybe the advice, like, it's going to go in a number of different ways. Maybe you've been digging deep and you're looking, say it's for a relationship, right? Let's go romantic wise, or even friendship wise, whatever that relationship means for you. You've been kind of hanging in there, putting in the work. You're trying to manifest something. You're trying to make something happen. You might be getting some advice or support from friends and family, and you are not impressed by that. You're not impressed by the information that you receive. That's kind of what the Four of Cups could be saying with that Three of Cups. Same with the group. Say you're working with people, you've been looking for support on a project, your own business, you know, the work that you've been putting in. It just feels like the Three of Cups here, you kind of give it a shot and you're not impressed by it. Not with the Four of Cups coming up, because this is progression. We move forward. We look at the options available to us and we're like, I don't like any of this. It's just same old, same old. Is this all I'm going to get? And that's why you might think that, you know, I might have to go this alone. I might have to just step up and do this myself. Emperor is a very powerful card. It is about taking control of a situation. But the thing with the Four of Cups is this cup that's coming in, the fourth cup. And this one's all bright and glowing. And it's like, you know, being handed down by this mystical hand that's handing over this beautiful cup. And this cup is not like the other cups. So this cup is the Ace of Cups for me. It's a, you know, a brand new cycle. New feelings, emotional growth, spiritual growth, healing. It's that kind of energy. It's a new beginning in whatever the situation is. But then why does he not see it? Well, firstly, because he may have given up on the hope of this card coming, of this cup coming through. So it's kind of telling you that, you know, you don't have to settle for what's available to you. Whatever this Three of Cups represents for you, the Four of Cups as your advice is saying you don't have to settle for this. You know, stay firm, keep your eye on the prize. That's what the Emperor. He knows what he wants. He knows what he wants to achieve in this situation. You know, hang in there. It's not a time to give up. Even if you may have to go it alone. Getting kind of specific, for some of you, this may be like a boss. The Emperor is a father figure, a boss, someone older who gives us advice. But it is usually an authority figure. It may be that you have to step up and be that person, especially in a work situation. And with the Four of Cups coming up here with the Alchemist or the Magician above it, this is something that you've wanted. It's something that you initiated in the past. You started this because the Alchemist is the manifester. He turns like base metals into gold. He can make whatever happen. And it kind of feels like that you've kind of maybe given up on this coming through. Maybe that's what this is about. And it's saying, well, no, it's still coming through. So the clarifiers are to like explain why there's energies here. It may be to do with some kind of communication. Maybe things start to pick up. The Eight of Wands can be speeding up any energies, but it can also be, we see it in our modern day interpretations of this card as communication, some messages back and forth, information that comes in, and we can usually trust it because I always say this: the arrows, or they call the arrows of love, or the Eight of Wands, they are information, so they're neatly spaced out. You know, they are clear. Whatever's coming through is clearly coming through. What is this to do with? Now, I kind of feel you're being advised with the Four of Cups here and the Four of Swords. So the fours are about non-action. That's when things do not move forward. Based off of this, you may be compelled to kind of move forward quickly, but it might be telling you to kind of hang in there a little bit with the Nine of Wands coming up, and you have the two fours, sorry, and the Emperor's a four as well. With all this fours energy, that's when these things are not moving. And sometimes that can seem counterintuitive because you're like being forced, like, well, if I don't act on this immediately, I'm going to miss out on this. No, you won't miss out on this because of the Emperor. The Emperor is about taking control. Don't give up. I think it's going to be an option of kind of changing your path, going in a new direction because of this ace that's coming in. And it might kind of, well, not might, but it will suit you to kind of think about it. Take some time out to think about it. The Four of Swords is taking a break, taking a step back. Now, you don't literally have to take time of work, especially if things are picking up and you've got all of this don't give up energy. This is not about giving up. This is about allowing things like the dust to settle, the information to absorb, and then you decide what to do. Four of Swords is about allowing the energy to come through, new energy, so new thoughts can come up. So when we keep fighting, when we keep going forward, we can't always achieve what we want to achieve. This is a card of healing in mind, body, and spirit. This can indicate anything from like a spa day, recovery from the flu, taking a week off work, you know, whatever it is in your situation. It's literally about putting your weapons down and not fighting for that time. So there is this kind of new information coming in, I feel, and it could be because there's something else coming through. If you're being offered something, there is something else coming through. And why are you being urged to take the time off? Because it's something to do with the past. Now, the Six of Cups, yes, it can indicate, you know, nostalgia, looking back at the past. In a relationship reading, it may be looking back at, you know, how did I used to connect with someone else or with the person that I'm with? The energies here, they seem really big. So they seem like in all areas of your life, especially with if you're waiting for something, if you're trying to make a decision about something that's coming up in your present. What was your dream in the past? Even the Nine of Wands, it's when we have to think back to, why did I begin this? Why did I start doing this? Why was I so willing to put all this work and effort into this situation? And the Six of Cups may be urging you to look back and think about that. Maybe that's what you take the time out for, to think back. You know, why am I doing this? Well, let's see what's coming up from that one. The Romance Angels. So it says, getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. And that's what the Eight of Wands could be. That is messages. That could be conversations with someone new. And, you know, with the Six of Cups coming up, maybe they remind you of someone from the past. You may actually be talking to someone from the past. And it doesn't have to be anything like an ex coming back. So please, people start going crazy and saying that, you know, I don't want an ex to come back. You don't have to. Nostalgia, it's, you are in control. So you've got the Emperor here, right? It's your card. And this is about maybe looking back at this and thinking, well, what did I like about that person? Sometimes it's interesting to know what we liked about someone in the past so we can know how to go forward, because we might have changed, our dreams might have changed. But like I said, it could be someone new that you meet, and the more you talk to them, they remind you of a situation from the past or a person from the past. I don't think that's a bad thing, because the Six of Cups, like I said, is an innocent card. It's beautiful memories of the past. And kind of maybe that's what's kind of keeping you stuck. Now, for some of you, I'm going to say this, with the Four of Cups coming up here and the Six of Cups, it may be that you think, oh my God, am I doing this again? But then the more you get to know the person, I think you'll figure out that it's a new energy. It's a new energy that's coming through. So don't stick in there. That's what this is saying. Like there might be work involved, but, you know, stick at it. This one says, be supportive, make a genuine effort to show you care. And that might not even just be in, you know, there could be separate messages coming through. That might be why the Three of Cups is here. Maybe you're needed by your family, by your friends, by whoever, like, you know, your network, your group of people. Maybe you're needed to be supportive here. And then after that, you kind of realize, because there is a connection between the Four of Cups and the Three of Cups. There has to be a connection there. Whoa. Yeah, another message coming through of loyalty. Makes sense with this. So loyal heart, it talks about, where you've been loyal, you will get that loyalty back. It's proof, it's evidence of loyalty or fidelity. Um, so yes, this connects very much so to the Three of Cups. But the other message that the loyal heart card has is that when you have a dream, if you're trying to manifest something, you must remain loyal to your dream as well, to whatever it is you're trying to manifest. So say, for example, if I'm trying to manifest a relationship, but all I do is I want a new relationship, right? So I want a new relationship. I want someone to meet someone new, but all I do is kind of daydream about my ex and wish that I want my ex back, and I can't get that person out of my mind. Well, I'm not really loyal to the dream. I'm being loyal to my memory of my ex, which is fine, but the two, they're in conflict with each other. How can you manifest a new thing if you're still stuck in the past, right? And there are no right or wrong answers, but it's about being aware of what are you loyal to, what are you sticking to, what is your dream, what are you trying to manifest. And if you're trying to manifest that, be supportive. It's about being supportive to yourself too, being in control. My way or the highway. This is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. These are the steps I will take, the work I will put in to get what I truly want. Right, let's do you a postcard from Spirit to wrap this up. Here we go. It says, Dear you, what is true for you? Can you be impeccable with your word? So this is about being loyal to your word as well, being true to your word. Sure you can. As long as it's not used to manipulate others, the truth can set everyone free. Let go of the results, let go of your fears, and allow the truth to empower you and others. This will set into motion a kind of change that will be supportive of you and loving and all kinds of prosperous. This is not a time to compromise and hide your truth from others. This is about stepping into your Emperor energy. Whatever it is you want, go for it and be clear in your motives, especially with yourself. You will be so happy you did. This is a time where you will tap into the power to co-create and manifest your best life. Doesn't that feel amazing? And the results? Miraculous. When you tell the truth and ask the same of others, you can learn a lot from life's bountiful lessons and achieve your dreams. Love you always. So that kind of makes sense, right? Especially with this 8 of Wands coming up. This may be, maybe you're the one that has to step out and say to your group, well, this is the situation. This is what I'm going for. Because sometimes the 9 of Wands, it is a defensive energy. Sometimes we're guarding that gate that we've constructed, that wall of wands, we've constructed it. That we don't want to let people in, or we don't want to let something through. But this is about being bold. The Emperor, he's not worried about what anyone else thinks. He's not worried about what anyone else wants. He's all about going forward and doing what he needs to. What is it that you are willing to put effort into and not put effort into? There is this kind of group dynamic coming in, even for those of you that are in a relationship, because that's usually like one-on-one, yes. But with the 3 of Cups coming up, and the 4 of Cups here, and the loyal heart, kind of feels like you might be coming out and saying something, revealing something, taking charge, right? Stepping out and saying, this is my way, this is what I want to do. And you might have people that don't agree with you, that say to you that, this is not right. But you will also get people who are loyal to you. And this is the message that's been coming out a lot for a lot of people lately. But I do wish you the best of luck, Aries.